The Eibach Pro Damper Shock and Strut Kit is a good choice if you're looking to improve the handling and performance of your 05 to 10 Mustang, especially if you've got a set of Pro Kit or Sportline springs under your suspension. Now, Eibach makes some really premium stuff, so expect great results, but it does come with a decent price tag, right under the $500 mark for the set. The installation for shocks and struts isn't too hard, but it does take some time and the right tools, so I'm giving it 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Now, even though these are made to work perfectly with the Eibach springs and sway bars, there's still a great upgrade if you're running a different suspension setup. Now, Eibach says there are 3 steps to perfect performance handling setups. Now, step 1 is their springs I mentioned, step 2 being these Pro dampers, and step 3 being anti-roll bars or sway bars. Now, obviously, that's how you really take your suspension to the next level, but these still make a huge impact on your driving experience whether you have those upgrades or not. If you're experiencing the symptoms of a bad shock or strut, such as excessive squatting or nosedive while braking, or if you feel every little bump on the road, your dampers might be failing, in which case, these make for a pretty serious upgrade. The Eibach kit here has a performance-tuned damper in all 4 corners, making sure your ride's not only comfortable, but capable of handling the toughest turns on the street and even the hardest launches on the strip. Now, your cornering capability is going to noticeably improve right off the bat, and overall the driving experience is going to feel a lot sportier. The biggest difference in suspension feel comes in when your GT V6 or GT 500 is lowered, because the precision tuning in the dampers work best under a lowered center of gravity. Now, if you're looking to grab this set for yourself, you can do so for just about $470 on the site. Eibach is a well-known, more premium brand than most, so they carry a higher price, but with a good reason. Their suspension parts are, in my opinion, some of the best stuff in their respective categories. The shocks and struts really make a big difference for the daily driver, the weekend warrior, or a track car. They're gas pressurized with a larger diameter piston, much like a lot of the options available. Now, the black powder coating gives you a stealthy look, but they also offer that layer of corrosion and rust resistance we all need. Now, the installation, like I said in the very beginning, isn't the hardest thing in the world, but it does require some mechanical experience and some know-how as well as the right tools. Overall, you should expect to have this done in about 3 hours or so, and it gets 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. You want to have a ratchet and full socket set on deck, as well as a jack and jack stands or a lift, and a spring compressor to safely remove and install the springs. Keep in mind, this is a great time to toss on a set of those lowering springs I mentioned, so if you've got a set or if you're planning to do it, you might want to plan to tackle this all at the same time, but as I mentioned earlier, it's not required. To give you an idea of what's involved, you'll need to of course jack the car up or put it on a lift, remove the wheels one at a time from the front, and drop the brake systems down to access the front struts. Now, once that's done, you'll pop the hood, remove the nuts holding your strut on from the top of the strut tower while supporting it from the bottom, then remove the lower strut bolts and end links, pull the strut out of the vehicle and set it aside. You'll need to use your spring compressor at this point to remove the factory springs from your OEM struts to swap them on to the new Eibach system. Once assembled, you'll reinstall this in reverse order and finish it off by tightening the upper strut bolts down to about 30 foot-pounds, the lower bolts and end links to about 85 foot-pounds. The rears will start off the exact same way, only at this point you want to jack up the rear differential pumpkin just to make sure you're supporting the weight, which will come in handy later. Now, from there, you want to make sure you're removing the wheels and dropping the brake assembly out of the way to gain access to the factory shocks. Remove the bottom shock bolt and then the top one, which you can locate inside the trunk by removing the trunk liner. Once the factory shocks are out of the way, you can swap in the new Eibach ones. Now, if you're swapping out the springs, of course, you want to lower down the jack underneath the differential ever so slightly to remove the tension from the factory springs. From there, you can swap in the new springs and put everything back together the way they were. That just about wraps this one up, so if you're the owner of an 05 to 10 Mustang, you might want to check out the Eibach Pro Damper Shock and Struts, which are available right here at AmericanMuscle.com.